Welcome back to another episode of Route to Resilience, the podcast where we explore how to rise stronger through life's challenges and nourish the mind, body, and soul along the way. I'm your host, Anupa, and in today's episode, we're doing something a little bit different, and I'm going solo because this episode is deeply personal because I'm sharing the top 5 things that started this podcast, and then winning award just 6 months later has taught me about resilience. If you've been following along, you'll know that Route to Resilience only launched this January, and the way it has snowballed has completely blown me away. The visibility, the opportunities, the conversations, I never imagined it would quite grow in this way, and it all started with one small decision. One choice that I could share my voice imperfectly but truthfully has taken me down a path so aligned with who I am and what I stand for. And I guess that's what resilience is about. Resilience is a muscle you build over time. Courage is a choice, and sometimes it's a choice you make over and over again, even on the tough days. And I want to talk to you about the lessons behind this moment because they may help you if you're building something of your own or dreaming of making the next brave move. So I guess let's dive into the top 5 lessons on resilience from winning this award and from starting this podcast. So, the first thing I think is really important to discuss here is just stop waiting for permission or validation. If I had waited for the perfect moment or some kind of green light from others to give me permission to start Route to Resilience, it just would never have existed. I would never have started. Resilience means backing yourself up when no one else is cheering you on or clapping yet. It means trusting your instincts even when it doesn't make sense to you and deciding that you are allowed to take up space. You have a voice, so you should use it, and you don't need external validation to claim that. And I think that this is quite a big one, to be honest, because it takes a long time for people to step out of that comfort, to stop waiting for someone to say, yeah, you can do this, or yeah, you're a natural, or you have so much wisdom to share. And in actual fact, it doesn't matter what people will tell you. Unless you have that strength inside of you, unless you have that self-belief inside of you, you will never ever do something and start something. So do yourself a favor and just, if you are hearing those quiet whispers of an idea and it just won't go away and it's niggling at you, just do it. Do yourself a favor and just do it. Because I tell you something, you will not regret it. The more you do something, the more that fear will go away. The more you start convincing yourself that you can do something. And why not you? Why should everybody else get these moments in life and not you? You are no different to anybody else. No one else is more special than you. So just stop waiting for permission and stop waiting for validation. Just go ahead and do that thing that you've been waiting to do for so long. Lesson number 2 is don't overthink it and stop chasing perfection. I guess this one leads on quite nicely from stop waiting for permission or validation because I think when I launched this podcast, I had no professional studio, I had no fancy tech setup, I had no blueprint for guaranteed success, and if I had overthought every detail, I'd still be planning today. I still wouldn't have started. And I just would have been stuck. And I hate that feeling of being stuck. It's the worst feeling in the world, being stuck and not moving forward. So I'm telling you that progress beats perfection every time. And resilience is all about showing up. And it's not about showing up flawlessly. It's about showing up in those imperfections and, you know, just kind of owning those imperfections and just being like, yeah, I am imperfect, but I never claimed to be perfect in the first place. And it shouldn't be expected either. No one should expect anyone to be perfect. It just doesn't exist. Perfection isn't something that really exists. So tiny imperfect steps build momentum, and momentum is what transforms dreams into reality. You don't have to be perfect to make an impact. So I think this is something that I've truly learnt, and this is probably one of the lessons that I will carry through with me into the rest of my life, to not overthink anything and just remember that I'm not perfect and I can show up in my imperfections. And if I'm being truthful, no one ever really notices your mistakes anyway. So it's only you that's being overcritical. So just remember that next time you want to do something and you're feeling stuck because you want it to be perfect, just go for it. Lesson number 3 on resilience: be clear on your intention. Now, this is super important because I think that it's so easy to look at somebody else and think, oh, they're doing this, so I'm going to do it too. And I think it's okay to get inspiration from others, but you have to be truly aligned with what it is you're trying to say and what your message is. So I knew that my intention from starting this podcast was to create honest and heart-centered conversations around healing, growth, and resilience. That was what I was passionate about. That was my guiding star. And I think that has kept me steady through all the messiness, all the self-doubt, all of the occasional crises of lack of confidence. And yes, that has happened to me. I know that a lot of people think that, oh wow, Anupa's so confident and look at her go, she's such a natural. But it's not always like that. You will have ups and downs. But having that clear intention, and when you know why you're doing something, you can withstand, those challenges that come along the way, because you're constantly reminding yourself of your why, what your purpose is. And my purpose is to help others to have that compass of resilience and help it steer them through, because for me, that's what has helped me to get through those difficult moments in life, and to realize that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if I am going through a challenging time, this is going to teach me something that's going to be invaluable for the rest of my life. And this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. It wasn't for awards. It wasn't for any kind of recognition. And in fact, there have been days where, I've posted something on Instagram or LinkedIn and there has been minimal engagement whatsoever. Like, no one has liked it, no one has commented. But people are still seeing you, and that's what is important, that you're not doing this for yourself, you're not doing this for likes, you're doing this to add value and to be of service to other people. And that was my intention. And lesson number 4, now this is something that I cannot stress enough: make sure you have a supportive network. Behind every podcast episode that I've done was a circle of support, whether that was the listeners, whether that was mentors or my loved ones that were cheering me on. And yeah, it could be anyone, friends, family, partner. Just remember how important that is. I couldn't have done this without a supportive network. And I have to give a special mention, because I am especially grateful to my fiance Ed, who has not only believed in my vision from the very beginning and every step of the way, but he has also contributed. And I remember at Christmas he brought me my mic before I started doing the podcast, before I did my first podcast. And that's so affirming when someone who you love so much is buying you a mic to say, I fully support you in this decision that you're making to start a podcast. That is something I don't even have words for it, because it I just so appreciate, I so appreciate him. And I also should mention that he has contributed with his talent by recreating the theme music for this show. It's inspired by Are We Here from the English electronic duo Orbital. So Edo, Edo is his DJ name. Edo's musical skills and encouragement has honestly made this dream more real. And I remember saying to him, this is the kind of tune that I want. This is the theme tune that I want for my podcast. And I was so particular about it. And he made it happen. So thank you very much, Ed, for the amazing music on the podcast, which I absolutely love. And I love Orbital too. So, yeah, thank you so much. So, I mean, guys, look, resilience, it grows stronger with connection. It's really difficult to keep going on your own. You need to surround yourself by people who are holding you up, and especially on those days where you're feeling crappy, on those days where your self belief starts to waver, which again, it happens. Of course, it happens. You're not always going to be motivated. So you need the supportive network that's telling you you can do this, and we're backing you up. We're supporting you 100%. We have your back. And also remember that the universe also has your back. Now, lesson 5 is all about being real, being authentic, and being you. Your truth is your power. And people connect with what's raw and honest and unpolished. Again, this goes back to being imperfect. You know, people will relate to you if you are imperfect and unpolished. I mean, I can relate to people who are imperfect because I appreciate their courage of showing up anyway, getting past the fear and showing up anyway. And the more I have shown up as myself, the more the right listeners have resonated and responded. Again, like, don't expect to resonate to everyone. And that's not what the aim is here. You're not trying to resonate with everyone. You're trying to resonate with your people that are on your level, that will understand these kind of conversations. So it's not about being liked by everybody. It's about resonating with those handful of people and adding value to a few people and having an impact with those few people. Authenticity, it builds trust, and I believe that trust is the foundation for real impact. And resilience also means being able to hold space for all parts of yourself: the confident you, the scared you, the curious you, the messy you. Share it, show it, and that what makes you relatable and magnetic. And there's been times where I've had to really shrink myself to fit a certain kind of mold, and I'm just so grateful to have this space where I can finally I can be myself, and I can have those conversations that mean so much to me. So let's do a little recap on the 5 lessons on resilience that I have learnt through starting this podcast and winning an award. Number 1, just stop waiting for permission or validation. Number 2, don't overthink it or chase perfection. Number 3, be clear on your intention. Number 4, make sure you have a supportive network. And number 5, just be yourself. Be real, be authentic. It's so important. So, guys, I hope that resonates with you, and I hope this is helpful for you if you're thinking about starting something. Because this experience, it has reminded me that courage is not a one-time thing. It's a series of tiny choices, micro decisions that build up over time. And you don't need to have the entire journey mapped out. You just need to trust the next step and then the next. Just take one step at a time and believe in yourself. And resilience is exactly that. Showing up again and again with an open heart And it's something you build like a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger you get. So I am so grateful for you listening, for this community, for my family and friends, and for everyone who shared this podcast, who's followed, who's rated it, who sent me kind words or offered encouragement. You didn't just listen, you've helped me build this win. And if Route to Resilience has touched you in any way, I'd love for you to keep spreading the word. I really would. Thank you so much. If you would like for me to speak to your community or team about resilience, authentic growth, and navigating uncertainty, please let's connect. My email is anupa@rootetoresilience.com. And please remember that while I share personal experiences and insights here, please always seek advice or guidance from a qualified expert if you are making big changes in your life. And remember, guys, as always, resilience is your superpower. Thank you.